It's been said that hope is not a strategy, and that may be true. However, it's one of the most powerful motivators in the world. On Unyielding Hope, we're going to take life head on, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We talk about and share stories and experiences of the challenges we face and how you can find hope in the midst of some of your most challenging times and circumstances. So sit back, relax, and get ready for your weekly dose of hope. All right, before we get started, a quick word from our sponsors who make Unyielding Hope possible. Hey, are you a learning-based business owner or a real estate professional? Are you ready to exceed your goals? Well, Cornerstone Coaching is here to help. In the ever-changing real estate market, challenges can often leave you feeling stuck. Cornerstone Coaching simplifies real estate, even in the face of difficulties, to get you unstuck and back on the road to your dreams and goals. Are you struggling with market conditions? They provide coaching that empowers you to lead confidently through their proven process. They help you navigate your clients through fears and objections that they might be feeling. The Cornerstone Coaching approach starts with an in-depth analysis of your business gaps, and from there, they craft a step-by-step plan using their time-tested models, systems, and tools. So if you're ready to embark on your journey to success, Cornerstone Coaching is offering a complimentary 1-hour coaching session for the listeners of this broadcast, Unyielding Hope, to uncover the missing pieces in your business and chart a clear path. Contact them today for your complimentary coaching session and let them know that you heard about it here on Unyielding Hope. Take that crucial step towards your brighter future. All right. Hey, thanks again for joining us on Unyielding Hope. I'm Terry Gurno. And again, I just want to say thank you for showing up and being here. It means a lot to me. And today I want to talk about the heart and the head connection. You know, in episode 3, if you missed it, go back and watch that. But I give you a little more detail into my background and who I am and the journey that I've been on and where I'm at today. And not only professionally, but also I've been talking about the journey that led me to even starting this podcast or this show, if you will. And so anyways, so how I got here. But today I want to talk about this thing called the heart and head connection. Now, I didn't know about this, at least not like this, until I was going in to have open heart surgery. So when they set my date to have my open heart surgery, there is a pre-op appointment that you have the day prior. So I went in and they say, plan on 4 hours, and you go in and the first thing they do is they send you to an ultrasound room where they can map out the vein. And in my case, it was the left vein that went from my groin all the way down to my ankle. They mapped it out and drew it on my leg because they were going to take that out during surgery. So that's the first thing they did. And then they send you over to the hospital across the street for some blood work. And I did that. And then you have this pre-op appointment where they're going to walk you through what's about to happen and what I can expect and stuff. And so I remember going through all this procedure and getting over to the pre-op appointment, and they had us watch a bunch of videos. They weren't long. They were like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but they were different parts of the procedure and, what they were going to do and how they were going to do it and what I could expect afterwards and what care was going to look like afterwards. And so anyways, it was pretty amazing to get that information and to see all that and experience that. And now I know exactly, what I'm going in for. And so anyways, during that episode, or not that episode, I'm doing an episode. During that meeting, they gave me this pillow, right? Now, other than just being a cool pillow, this is actually a tool. And I didn't know that. But when you have open heart surgery, they break your sternum, right? They have a saw that they use, and they cut it, and then they break it, and then they have these grips. I don't know what they are, but clamps that pull your ribs apart. And so I learned all that in the pre-op and the videos and stuff like that. And so when they are closing you up, right? They're finishing the procedure. They actually wire your sternum together. So to this day, for the rest of my life, I have these wires, and if I ever get an X-ray or anything like that, those wires are very prominent. And I've seen them several times since in X-rays and different things like that. But one of the things they tell you is that you cannot put any stress on your sternum for quite a while, because it's possible that if you do that and this bends and you use it too much, it's almost like a piece of metal that loses its, I don't know what the technical term is, but it's stiffness, right? And so it just, if I'm not careful, it won't ever really, come back together, not like it's supposed to. And so this is a tool. So what I didn't realize is, most of us do things we don't even think of, right? It's unconscious competence. It just happens. They're habits. But most of us, when we're sitting down, when we get up, we use two arms to get up. We will push ourselves up, most of us in most cases. And so this becomes a tool. And they were teaching me that when I get up, from now on for a while, that I had to squeeze this and just get up with my legs and not use my arms at all. Also, when I go into bed, I had to have this. I rolled into bed and then rolled on my side, not using my arms. When I got out of bed, I had to get up and again not use my arms. And so this became a tool for me. It's not just a cool pillow that I get to have for the rest of my life, but it was actually a tool. When I was in the car, I had to put my seatbelt on and put this between me and my seatbelt as added protection in the event of an accident. So I did that. So I was able to use it in quite a few ways. Anyways, this is, now that I'm beyond that, right? My sternum is almost complete, 100% healed. They say it takes about 1 year, which next month on the 23rd will be a year. So I'm really, really close. But I don't have any complications or anything. But, it's just a reminder of that period and that time in my life. And so, but the other thing that I learned, which I thought was really interesting, was there is this heart-head connection that they said is going to happen. And anytime they do open heart surgery, people experience this, and they said you're going to experience a lot of emotion. In fact, you may be more emotional than you have ever been, in your life. And one of the things that people know about me, that for people that really know me, is I'm not a really emotional guy. Now, I can get fired up. I can get pretty excited, and you'll know I'm excited and stuff like that. And I can get emotionally, I can be sad and connect, but I don't really cry. I don't show those outward emotions. So I get emotional, but it's hard for people to really see that. Now, people that are really close to me, like my wife, they see that. And they were talking about this. In fact, I read this. I pulled this off the internet, and it says recovering from open heart surgery involves physical and emotional healing. The recovery process uses emotional and physical energy. And so there's this connection between your heart and your head. They said, Terry, you may feel this emotional roller coaster. You may be really happy. You may be really sad. And they warned me about this several times. You may even feel depressed. Now, those of you that know me, I'm not a depressed guy. I'm just not. My glass is half full. I've always been that way. I've always been positive. And so that's not me. So they're getting me ready for this. And I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around it because this isn't me. I don't know this. So anyway, some of the other things they say that you can experience, and I listed them here: mood swings that may include depression, fear, anxiety, loneliness, helplessness, and anger. Crying easily. I'm not a crier. For no apparent reason, lack of energy or motivation, getting easily frustrated, the inability to concentrate, having good days, having bad days, feeling more emotional and sentimental. So these are the things that they sent me home with so I could read to prepare me for post-surgery, right? But I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around this. And so, but I remember I went in for surgery, right? I was in there that morning. They prepped me. And then they wheeled me away into the operating room. And they prepared my wife for what to expect afterwards. They said, Terry's going to be still be incubated. We don't want to take him off that until we know he's doing okay and we don't have to rush him back to surgery. And so it's going to be a slower process to bring him out of the anesthesia, wake him up, and all that. And it was. I don't remember a lot of this, but my wife was telling me that I was trying to, I came out with 3 chest tubes, going into my chest to drain off any fluids that were, gathering, and just I had an external pacemaker that went into my heart from, 2 wires going in. I had all these things. I had this really massive thing hanging out of my neck, and what it was it was actually where they put 3 different tubes in, and they went straight into my heart. One was to take vitals, the other one was to put in medicine, and the other one was actually had nutrition. And so it was very, very interesting. Anyways, I didn't see all that, but Nancy did. So when Nancy walked in, she said it was a bit overwhelming, and she was grateful that they shared with her what to expect. But I remember as I was coming out, and I did it little by little, and I was trying to pull my tubes out, and I didn't know that, and they were telling me to calm down, and finally I was awake enough, and I remember the guy that came in that was going to unhook the incubation equipment, I remember him coming in, and they did that, and that experience, and then I was able to kind of breathe on my own, which felt good and stuff like that. But I remember as I was laying there, before they took that out of me, I couldn't talk. And I saw my wife there. And I so desperately wanted her to know that I loved her. And I was so grateful for her that I grabbed her hand and I looked into her eyes as deep as I could. I remember my eyes just being full of tears and tears running down my cheeks, and just looking at her. And we have this thing that we do, and if we're holding hands, or when we're holding hands, and we do 3 pumps like that. That's I love you, right? 3 pumps, I love you. And so we'll do that, and that's a way for us to say that to one another in a crowd, or if we don't want anybody to hear us or whatever. So that's one of the things we've done for years and years, And so I remember holding her hand, looking into her eyes, and so desperately wanting to communicate how much I loved her, and I couldn't because that was still down my throat. And so I remember she was telling me about that experience, and she said to me, "Terry, you've never looked at me like that, ever. I mean, you looked at me so deep." She said, and I loved it. And I just remember that moment for me was a very emotional moment that wasn't normal for me. It wasn't normal, but I so bad wanted her to know. And so that was just one of those moments I'll never forget. Neither one of us will ever forget that moment. But making this heart-head connection, that there's really something going on here between our when for me going through healing, and that was going to be physical and emotional. And so there was several times in the hospital as I was recovering that. Man, I would just start crying for no reason. I would just start crying for no reason. Nobody was in the room. Nobody said anything. I didn't read anything. I didn't hear anything. But I would just be overwhelmed with emotion. And I'll never forget that. And the truth is, that's not how I'm wired, but I didn't mind it. I kind of liked it. I liked being able to be that emotional and release some of these feelings that I had, these feelings of deep gratitude and love, and just for the fact that I was here and the care that I was receiving and the people that were surrounding me, my friends, my family, my wife, and it was just really overwhelming in a way that I never experienced. And I remember this one time where my nurse got me up out of bed, and I had a walker, and the walker is pretty high, so you can lean your forearms on it, and you do a couple of laps around the nurse's station. That's the goal. And so anyways, I remember this one time I was on my walk, and the nurse asked me, "So how long have you been married?" And at the time it was 38 years. And I said, 38 years. And she said, "So what's the secret?" And I just started crying. And again, this is not me. It wasn't me that, that I know of, in the past, it's never been me to be that emotional. But that question, I just started crying and I couldn't stop. And I just remember saying, she's my best friend. And that's all I could say. She's my best friend. And just having moments like that. And even, when I was in the hospital and just wanting to go home, I just wanted to be home. I wanted to be in my chair, in my house, with my surroundings, my wife, and just all the things that represented home and comfort and peace and safety, all of these things that I had. I just wanted to be there, and to even think about them just brought tears to my eyes. It was just, I'm telling you, it's hard to explain. It really is. It's one of those things that if you're not wired that way, you just have to experience. And I hope you don't have to experience it, at least not have to go through heart surgery. I'm not saying that. I don't want you to have to go through that, but to experience that, I've got to say, it was pretty cool. And since then, my wife has said on a couple of occasions, I've never seen Terry more vulnerable, and I loved it. She says, and I love it. And so it was one of those things that they prepared me for, but I couldn't imagine what it was going to be like. And so when you are feeling a place where maybe it doesn't always take heart surgery. You know that. I mean, those of you that are watching, you know that. Sometimes it's getting, bad news. It's being upset. It's you're discouraged. You're frustrated. It takes an emotional toll. There's a lot of emotional energy around all those feelings and processing thoughts around all that and stuff like that. Well, one of the things they did is they gave me a list of things that I can do that when I'm feeling emotional, especially if I feel on that depressed side or frustrated side or angry side, there were some things that I could do on a daily basis or as needed to help me move through that. And I want to give those to you because these may be, you don't have to just have heart surgery to be able to do some of these things, and all of these you can do. So I hope that one of these or maybe all of these could help one of you or all of you. So here they are. So even though you may feel drained emotionally, physically, here's some things that you can do under the whole self-care, category. So get dressed every day. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Get dressed early. Be ready to go for your day. Feel like there's something coming your way. Be prepared for it. It's just a simple thing that helps you get ready for something to happen. So again, get dressed every day. Get dressed early in the day. Walk within your limits. And so if you're recovering from a major surgery, don't push yourself too much, but get out and walk. Get some movement going every single day. I mean, you get outside, you've got the fresh air or you've got the cold rain, depending upon time of year and where you live, but you're out there, you're in nature, you're feeling the breeze, the sunshine, the cool of the day, and you're just getting out there, but walk you're getting exercise. So walk daily within your limits. Get plenty of rest. Don't be afraid to rest. Get good rest. Take a nap. I'm a napper. I've been a napper all my life from the time I was a little boy. And man, I'll tell you what, I love a good nap. And I always tell people, the only thing required for me to take a nap is I just have to stop moving. If I stop moving for any length of time, I'm out. And so I love a good nap. But get some rest. Slow down, get some rest. Get back to doing some hobbies that you love, some social activities with people that you enjoy. Get out, get back in that. Now, you may not feel like you want to do that, but what I'm saying is this: these things will help you get on the other side of that feeling. These things will help you get going again. And so get back to doing some hobbies, whatever those might be. Do some social activities. Be around people that you really enjoy being around. People that give you energy. People that help you, that make you feel better. People that where you help them feel better by being a part of their life and their day. Visiting with other people. This is something that we can all do. Just go visit people, get to know them. Maybe people in the hospital. It could be meeting somebody at a coffee shop. Just begin to re-engage again socially, and then it's possible you might even want to join a support group. a support group where people that can understand the journey that you're on, maybe what you're going through, where you're at. I think when we do this, one of the things we realize right away is, hey, we're not alone. I'm not alone. There are other people that are walking the same or very similar path that understand where I'm at, what I'm thinking, what I'm going through. And so they can relate. And so get a part of it. And a support group doesn't want to keep you where you're at. The support group is there to help you on your journey to move forward, right? To regain your life, to regain your vision, to regain your passion, to do those things moving forward. So to have that support system is so valuable. So anyways, I came across this quote that I really love. And it's, find a group of people who challenge you and inspire you. Spend a lot of time with them, and it will change your life. I love that quote because it's so practical. Find a group of people who challenge you in a good way. Challenge you, will push back, will help bring the best out of you, right? That inspire you, their life, their stories, the things that they're doing, the experiences that they've had, the stories that they share, right? The things that inspire you. Be around those types of people. Have friends like that. Spend a lot of time with them. And then know this, that when you do those things, it will change your life. I know that for a fact. I have people like that. I have a really good friend. His name is Abe. When I was in the hospital, this was after my heart surgeries and then following complications and being back in the hospital. When he found out that I had cancer, he was actually in Utah, where he lives, Ogden, Utah, and he was at a theater. And he got a text message from a coworker that I had communicated, hey, it's cancer. And then she in turn, sent him that text. And he said he doesn't remember the second half of the show they were watching at all. Doesn't remember it. But he said on the drive home, he booked a ticket to come see me the next day. And the next day he shows up in my room in the hospital, and he spends the entire day with me, just being my friend. And I'll tell you what, those are the kinds of people that will lift you up. Those are the kinds of people that will be there for you. Surround yourself with people like that, right? People that inspire you. Spend a lot of time with them, and it will change your life. Proverbs 17:17 says, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. Man, you want people that love at all times, in every circumstance. You want people that are in your corner when you face adversity, and they're in your corner. And no matter what that adversity is, it could be health like mine, it could be finances, it could be relational, whatever. But you want people in your corner, championing for you, being there for you, supporting you, encouraging you, equipping you, empowering you to get through those very, very difficult times. That's what we're talking about. There is a head and a heart connection. There is a physical and emotional challenge that we go through. And when you experience a dip in your emotions, you're fatigued, you're tired, you're frustrated, you're depressed, these are some things we can do to regain some strength, renew our vision, and find some hope in whatever circumstance you're in. And so, listen, I want to say thanks for joining us today again. Don't forget, talk to me. I want to hear from you. I want to know, hey, what were your ahas? What were your takeaways? If you have a similar experience, tell me about that. What are your stories? What kind of questions do you have? Who are the people that you know that I should know? So share those things with us. We want to hear from you. We're grateful that you tune in. And this has been your dose of hope. Again, we'd like to thank Cornerstone Coaching for their support of Unyielding Hope. So if you're a learning-based business owner or a real estate professional and you're ready to exceed your goals, Cornerstone Coaching is here to help. The changing real estate market challenges can sometimes leave you hopeless or even stuck. And that's where Cornerstone comes in. Their coaching simplifies the real estate process, even in the face of difficulties, to get you unstuck and back on a clear path to reach your goals. So if you're ready to embark on your journey to success, Cornerstone Coaching is offering a complimentary 1-hour coaching session for the listeners of Unyielding Hope to uncover the missing pieces in your business. Contact him today for your complimentary coaching session and let them know that you heard about it here on Unyielding Hope. Take that crucial step towards your brighter future. Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'd love to hear from you, so talk to me. Share your questions, your stories, your circumstances, and most importantly, share your experiences of unyielding hope. And please share this with your friends, your family, or anyone else that you think could benefit or be encouraged. I'm Terry Gurno, and this has been Unyielding Hope. Thank you for tuning in.